everybody, welcome back to the channel. So a little bit of an interesting video because at this point, recording this, I don't really know what's going on yet. We're in the new shop right now at my house, gathering up some tools. We're gonna head to the old shop and we have to pull my dad's I-Shift transmission out of his Volvo. Basically what's going on with it is it's not shifting into even gears. It's a 12-speed automated manual transmission and it's not shifting into the even gears. It's going right into the odd gears and we really have no idea what's going on. We've called Volvo dealerships. I've tried to look on forums and stuff like that. It's not a common problem. So we're gonna pull it out and he's got a new basically top half of the transmission. It's got the shift forks and the solenoids and all that, air actuated solenoids. We're gonna pull the trans out, pull all that off, take a look, see what's going on, and replace basically the top half of the transmission. Like I said, it's not going into even gears, upshifting. Downshifting, it's fine, but it's grinding really bad going into the even gears. Now, eventually, if you would like break torque, like by letting off the accelerator, it would slide into gear, but most of the time it just sits there and grinds. I'm also wanting to make this video as like an informative video because there's not a lot of info on YouTube and across the Googles about the Volvo I-Shift transmission, especially on this problem that I am having. Like I said, we called Volvo dealerships to see if, you know, there was any, if they've ever seen anything like this. And they basically said, no, and if there's no codes, which there's not, it's not throwing any codes. If there's no codes, we can't help you.
So thanks. Thanks for nothing.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I got the heater going. Hopefully I can get something accomplished today. My future race car driver's got a doctor's appointment, so I think I'm gonna finish carrying all the tools and start working on the drive shaft, stuff like that. Alrighty, got the drive shaft out with help from the BFH. Now normally I would not take the entire drive shaft out. I would leave it connected to the rear differential, take down the carrier bearing, and of course take it down at the yoke on the transmission and just slide it out of the way. But I need to access the top of the transmission and there is no way for me to get the tranny out from underneath the truck. So what I'm gonna do is, hang on. So I have room to work. I'm gonna take the center section of the catwalk out and slide the transmission all the way back, and that way I'm able to lift up the top of the transmission. That's gonna be the easiest, safest way to do it. So I actually got to take off. It's time for the baby doctor appointment, so I'm going to continue tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. Whew. But before I leave, I got the tranny jack out of the car because it weighs like 1,700 pounds. It's a 2,000 pound weight capacity, but I believe 1,000 of that 2,000 pounds is the actual weight of the frickin' jack.
The next day.
All right, welcome back. It is day 2. It is frickin' freezing in here. I have pretty much all day to work on this. I'm hoping to get a lot accomplished today. Hopefully might even get it done today. But Dad just got back with basically the entire upper half of the transmission. And it is a Wabco reman. And if the guys at work are watching this, I believe that in Rochester Hills, we reman the, at least this part of the I-Shift. So this was actually done where I work. So this is what we are changing. The entire basically top half of the transmission. So this is the shift forks. This is what actually does the gear shifting. This has solenoids and actuators. This part right here is the TCM, or the TCU, whatever you want to call it, basically the brains of the transmission. Basically you got two electrical connectors there. One is for the clutch actuator, an air line in right there, and that's basically it. They're super easy to take off, super easy to kind of work on, so they're not too bad. So what I'm hoping is that one of these actuators for the shift forks went bad and causing it not to go all the way into gear all the way. I had to dig and dig and dig on Google, but I did find one instance where it actually broke a clutch fork. I'm guessing it's one of these little tabs here that it broke, causing it not to go into gear. So I'm hoping that we find the issue and it's pretty easy to spot. If not, we're just gonna replace it all anyway. We already got it. But like I said earlier, these transmissions are actually really easy to pull. I'm a kind of a smaller guy, so what I do is I take the yoke off the transmission for the drive shaft, and I'm able to get on top of the tranny and disconnect everything, get to the top bell housing bolts. After that, it's really not that hard to pull one of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the yoke off, and then I'm gonna put you guys on top of the transmission, and we'll just start disconnecting everything, and we'll go from there. Another thing I love about the I-Shift is the yoke is held on by 4 bolts. So just take them bolts off, and the yoke comes off, and you're able to get on top of the transmission with no problem. All right, so on the back by the yoke, you have the speed sensor that needs to come off. And then, oh geez, oh. Okay. working top of the transmission. Okay. So this line here is your line in from your clutch actuator, so this can actually stay put. Your main airline feed is right here. These are your power and ground from the battery, and I have no idea why they're just laying there, but I'm definitely gonna fix that. Over here, if you can see my hand, this is gonna come off. This is for the tranny cooler lines, and then your main electrical connector is right here, and that comes off, and then of course your bell housing bolts up there. So like I said, it's not too bad actually. I can get on top of the tranny with no problem. There's no shift housing like on a manual that's right here, so it's nice and easy. So here we go again. If you may have seen a couple videos ago that I posted a video about the quality of work coming out of dealerships. Well, I guess shops aren't any different, because a few seconds ago when we were on top of the transmission, you seen the power and ground wires coming off the battery sitting on the top of the transmission. They're chafing. I see bare wire. Nothing is zip tied at all. The power wire coming off the alternator down to the starter behind the block is sitting there as well, just bouncing, and it's chafed. And then I found two small, I think they're probably about 14 or 16 gauge wires on the harness for the transmission that look like they've been pinned out, and there's massive chunks of corrosion and stuff chipping off of those, so I got to fix those wires. But I guess it's not just dealerships. Nobody cares about quality of work anymore. So the top of the transmission is done besides the tranny cooler lines. I'm trying to find a bottle, so when I take them off, I can stick them in a bottle that we're not leaking all over the place. Okay, so I'm at the point now where I got about 5 bell housing bolts left holding the transmission up. I'm gonna slide the jack under there, get everything secure and you know, somewhat square, and then hopefully it comes back and down without any issues. And then also, does dirt have a lot of protein or fiber in it? Because I'm definitely not hungry anymore. All right, here we go. Live action. I got it, all the bolts loose, took a shot back, cleaned up what I could so nothing falls in the tranny, and I got her propped up a little bit. So here we go. This is the, see what's wrong. All right, so I apologize. I skipped a little bit. It was stuck. It was not coming out. So I went ahead and took the top off, which is like the solenoids and whatnot, just so it was a little bit lighter, and I finally got it to pop. So here we go. We're going to see what she looks like. All right, flip it over, see if we see anything that stands out. Ooh, I see something broke. All right, I will show you what all I found. Not good. Not good at all. All right, so this guy right here, see these right here? It's all wore down. I'm guessing that's because it was grinding gears. And then, but this side is not like that, if you can see. So what I'm gathering here is the front fork that's damaged, the front ring. That's the range selector, so high, low. And from what I read, like I said, minimal information. What I read, I believe the even gears are in the high range and the odd gears are in the low range. So that makes sense. If it's trying to shift from like 3 to 4, it's trying to move that gear, and it's not going to the higher range. But that's just me guessing. I don't know. There's minimal information on these transmissions. So, I mean, that's obviously an issue, the actual gearing. But something else that I found that I'm crossing my fingers is the problem. Really hoping that it's a solenoid or something like that, something I can't visually see. All the holes are clean except for this one right here. It's got a lot of gunk and buildup in it, and this one here as well, right here. So I don't really know where that goes. And then over here on the actual actuator right here, I mean, there's nothing blatantly obvious, like something is completely broke. I mean, yeah, those gears are wore down, but that's, I'm guessing, where it was trying to go into gear and grinding. It's got to be something up top. I don't know. I really hope so. If not, then we're in trouble. Okay, quick update. Fast forward a few days. What you just seen was Wednesday. Today is Friday. And of course, you guys watching this on YouTube, being a YouTube video, it's going to be instant for you, but it is for us, dragging out a few days. After seeing the damage to the transmission, we went ahead and made the call to get another transmission. So we're currently hunting around for basically a low mileage transmission. So that's the plan currently, but they're stupid expensive. So we're trying to explore all of our options. Climb up here to see if it magically fixed itself overnight, but it doesn't look like it. Yep, still damaged. You can probably see a little bit better now because I'm using my phone instead of the GoPro, but yeah. Right there. Now, the other side over here, they are notched, but not like that. And this whole gear ring right here is damaged on the corners. So yeah, that's pretty much the issue. And then yesterday I got the serial number and all that information so we can start hunting for another trans. And what's discouraging is everything else looks so good. I mean, this transmission has, I'm guessing, about 900,000 miles on it. All the gears look good except for, you know, this gear obviously right here in the damage we found because of another failure. It caused this. This was basically the outcome of the failure. It just sucks. It's definitely rebuildable. The bottom and the top shafts look really good. If you do your maintenance, you can make them last a long time. It's just we had looks like an electrical or a pneumatic failure that caused this. So in the meantime, while we're hunting for a transmission, it's Friday, like I said, so it's probably not going to be till Monday till we get one. The shop, the personal shop back at the house is extremely busy. I got about an hour. I have an F-150 coming in for an AC compressor. So things are still kicking in the shop. So it's gonna be a busy weekend and right into a busy next weekend.
Make sure I don't hit the top up here.
Not light, but... Okay, we're back at it. So what you just watched was Friday. Like I said in the clip before this, Friday. We found a transmission, went and ordered it on Monday. So Friday to Monday over the weekend. Today is now Saturday. So we're looking at 8 days since we decided to get the transmission. We had to wait basically all this week because it had to be shipped out of South Dakota. Yeah, we're taking a big gamble, just like anybody else does when they put something from a junkyard in it. It's got a little higher mileage than I wanted, but it's better than what we had. And supposedly this place where we bought it, they supposedly inspect it and all that, but the bolts holding the top part on the TCU and the shifter housing don't look like they've ever been touched, so I don't know. So thank you to my brother for helping me get this one in. Thank you to a good group of guys who had a mini excavator. They came down and lifted the old one out and put the new one back in. So it is hanging there with a couple bell housing bolts, and it's about ready to be buttoned back up. And something else real quick, I made a slight modification to the Harbor Freight jack. Definitely recommend putting this plate on the back of the pre-existing plate because the entire bottom of the transmission had a piece of plate to touch. So I wasn't taking any risk of anything falling off. So definitely recommend. It was a $30 piece of plate, but I'm not dead, so that helped. We got fresh oil coming, so we're gonna change the filter oil and hopefully it shifts. So that's where we're at the moment. So I got to go to a Christmas because it's Christmas time. So last Christmas. I will be back with you probably tomorrow. Okay, this should be the final day. Christmas is over. Don't have to worry about any more Christmases. Last Christmas. All the parts are here except for the oil, which it will be here today. Hopefully in the next 3, 4, 5 hours, this thing is rolling down the road with no grinding. It might take me a little bit longer to put back together because I have to fix wires. I had to remove the transmission air supply tank and the air dryer in order to get the transmission all the way back to the catwalk. Okay, we're moving along, making progress. The transmission is now officially against the block and tight. All the bell housing bolts are in. I've been the last 45 minutes fixing and securing wires because apparently we're in the great bracket shortage of 2023 because the tranny I pulled had no brackets on it and the tranny I put back in had no brackets on it for the wiring and stuff like that. So the only thing I got left is the battery, power, and ground that goes over top of the transmission. I took this Subaru upper radiator hose and cut it. So I'm going to shove the wires in that and secure everything. That way they're not chafing on the top of the trans. All right, there we go. She's done. All I got to do now is the air supply tank and the air dryer and a drive shaft. Looks like a freaking yellow porcupine because all these zip ties. Definitely not ideal. Not exactly what I would like, but everything's zip tied up and somewhat secure. Right here's where the air supply tank goes, and the air dryer just kind of got laying off to the side because in order to get the transmission all the way back to right here, I had to remove all this in order to clear the bell housing. So that's all I got left, and then we're still waiting on UPS to bring the fluid, the new 7580 synthetic gear lube. So as soon as we get that, it's time for a test drive. And I just got a call from my Faja. Our Volvo dealership is closed today, so we're not going to be able to get a new tranny filter, which is no big deal. I'll change that at a later date. Okay, so drive shaft is up and tight, air supply tank is up and tight, air dryer is up and tight, so the only thing left to do is drain the old oil out of the trans, and we're still currently waiting on the new oil. Not too bad. I walked in here with 5 bell housing bolts in the trans, and that was it. And less than 3 hours later, we're ready basically for a test drive. Well, like I said, all we got to do is swap the oil over, and we're ready to rock and roll. Hopefully you can see okay. So your check plug is on the right side up here, right beside the sight glass to check the fluid level. And then right here is your drain plug. They are both 1.25" sockets. So I don't know, whoever put the frickin' fill plug in, holy Hercules, man. Like I said, I don't know how much fluid is in this, to be honest with you. There's none in the sight glass. So we're gonna pull the plug and see what comes out. Let's see what we got. Oh, there may be a little bit in there. Ooh, nope, it's empty. And that's nice. Oh, that's great. Oh, it looks like it's freaking cross-threaded. Ah, that's fantastic. That's, I guess, why it was coming out kind of hard. Alright, we'll let that drain. I'm going to clean up this drain plug because that's fantastic. It looks like they kind of ran it in and burred it up. Okay, so I think while we're waiting on the new fluid, I will show you some components of a Volvo I-Shift transmission. So this right here is your clutch actuator. This bolts onto the outside of the bell housing by 3 14mm bolts. It's got an electrical connector that goes up to the top of the TCU and an air line as well that goes to the top of the TCU. Like I said, it's bolted externally to the outside of the bell housing, and it seals against the bell housing by an O-ring, and it's got this little O-ring right here. It has an electrical connector that is connected to this guy right here, which technically this is your throwout bearing. This is if on like a manual transmission, if you press down the clutch, this right here would be what disengages and engages the clutch. This is air actuated. There's an air line that comes out. Actually, it's right here. This braided air line comes out, and this end right here seals against this O-ring. So basically, when it's time to shift, you get air or supplied air coming from the TCU through this line, and disengages the clutch when the transmission needs to shift. So basically, these two things work together. So I'm going to start packing up my tools to go back to the new shop. It's 4:30 already. I've been waiting for over an hour for the new fluid. I really don't want to test drive this at night just in case we have a problem, but I'm definitely going to get the new fluid in and then maybe just run it up and down the road a few times just to go to bed tonight, peace of mind that it does work. So we're going to continue waiting on the new fluid. All right, so went home, made dinner, edited some video, started watching the Angry Birds movie, and it's like 8 o'clock. So I decided to head back here to lock everything up, and then of course I passed the UPS truck, headed to my house on the way here. But like I said, it's already 8 o'clock, so we're just gonna finish it up tomorrow. That way I can take it for a test drive in the daylight. So
The next day.
all right, so hopefully now is the final day of working on this thing. So the gear lube is in. It is right there. It is Doxa. It's D-O-X-A. No idea how to say that. It's out of California. I-Shift synthetic transmission fluid, 7580. So we're going to put the pump in it, and I'm going to roll into there and pump it like I'm 15 again. So here you go. I-Shift synthetic transmission fluid 7580. They do make other lubricants as well. So like they make heavy duty truck oil, 1540, 540, and then they also make all your synthetic gear lubricant. So 75 140, 75 90 as well. So hopefully it's good stuff. We're about to find out anyway. Transmission is officially full. I would kind of show you the sight glass and all that, but the oil is actually like crystal clear, so even showing you the sight glass, you ain't gonna be able to see anything. So I put a little extra in it just because the system's kind of dry, with draining the transmission and then also draining the oil cooler lines. So put a little extra in it. We're gonna, well, it's time to fire her up. She's still got juice. She's been sitting for a while. All right, time to fire and see if we hear any clonking, clanking. Neutral not detected. That's okay. I was worried about this. So the transmission, when I was turning the yoke over, was making a noise like it was in gear. So without any air pressure, it won't shift to neutral, and the truck is completely drained of air. So I'm gonna have to hook up the air hose to the governor, get some air in it so it shifts back to neutral. So hang on a second. Okay, let's see what we got now. The air hose has been on it for about 10 minutes now. Got about 60 pounds. Let's see what happens. Hey, looks like we're in neutral. So let's go ahead and try to fire it, shall we? No clunking. That's good. That's good. All right, we'll let her run for a little bit and see if she'll move. All right, we're running. Air dryer just purged. It does go into gear, back in neutral now. The transmission air supply tank has got a massive air leak from one of the 90, the quick connects, which they're corroded. I tried to spray some PV blaster in them, still leaking, so we're gonna have to get a new one of those. So I'm going to put it in reverse for the first time. So, all right, we shifted. I hear movement. We're releasing the brakes. Door is open. Ooh, it moves. All right. All right, let's get it outside. How convenient, my dad had a phone holder right there. So, all right, we are in gear. We're gonna move. We're just gonna run up to my sister's and back, which is about, I'd say about 200 yards away, just to see how it shifts. All right, we got one shift. So we got another shift. We're in fourth. We're in fifth. Put it to the floor. Seventh. Eighth, ninth. All right, quick turnaround. Let's head back. So second, fourth, sixth, eighth. All right, we're doing better. No grinding. All right, I'm gonna pull back in the shop, do a quick once over of the drive line and leaks and everything, just to make sure before we take it out on the main road. All right, we're looking good, but yeah, this guy right here has a nice massive leak, so we just got to replace this 90 right here, this quick connect. But other than that, I don't see any leaks, so we might, well, I can't really hear any leaks because that one is so big, but no fluid leaks anyway. Shifting good, shifting actually really crisp, very very firm, which is nice. Alrighty, so just got back from, I'd say 5-6 mile test drive. Shifting good, shifting nice and firm, no grinding, going right into gear. So then he had a really bad exhaust leak. There was a clamp loose. I pulled back in and smoke was rolling out from underneath the hood. So right off the turbo there. So I got that tightened up. I think we're all good. I need to get away from this thing because the more I walk around it, the more I find. That freaking bushing's pretty much completely gone, so that's gonna need replaced now. Yeah, so now, since this seems to be all right, Father can get back to work and, let his bank account recover a little bit. Next, we are going to do shocks all the way around. That needs a fifth wheel. That left side cab airbag, which we have already, it's completely blown out. It's junk. Little things, but, it seems like owner-operator trucks break down more than company driver trucks. So So I say this at the end of every video. Thank you very, very much for supporting the channel and watching the videos. I'm going to start saying this at the end of the next few videos coming out. January and February, the videos are probably going to slow down a bit because I travel for work. If you go back at the beginning of 2023, I posted a video about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I travel for work and I'm gone about 2 weeks at a time, come home just for the weekend, and then gone 2 weeks at a time. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, until March, I travel and I'm not home much. So like I said, I apologize. The videos are going to slow down for a month or two. So it sucks, but it's my job and that's what pays the bills. So with that said, thank you for watching this video. This is kind of a long video. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to get ready to, I'm chasing down an electrical problem with the airbag switch. So I'm going to dig into that now. So please like and subscribe, and I think we will see you in the next video.